Hello everyone, I'm Nayan and I'm a current graduate student of Business and Technology at NYU, and I've been an MIT Entrepreneurship Leadership and Innovation Bootcamp alumni and been an entrepreneur for the past 3.5 years. I have experience on working with startups, failing, learning from mentors, boot camps, and whatnot. So, in my entire journey of trying to be an entrepreneur, I faced so many difficulties of like going down the wrong ways, trying to find the right paths and everything. But if any of you wants to get into entrepreneurship and want to start your own startup, I wanted to do something. So I created this thing called as the entrepreneurship playbook. And this is not something that I have personally made, but from all the lessons I've been learning from MIT, NYU, IIMs and stuff. So concise all those lessons into one small no bullshit guide, just a 6-step playbook towards entrepreneurship. And I can say that if you follow this guide, you'll get somewhere. I'm not saying you'll make $1 million startup, but this would be the right place for you to start if you want to get into entrepreneurship. So let's just dive into this. So you can see like this is the first screen that you'll be seeing, the entrepreneurship playbook and interactive guide to building businesses that matter. The first starting point, the first step, it's not an idea, it's a problem, right? Start with a problem wherever you go. If whatever startup it is that you're trying to do, if there is no problem that you're solving, no matter how brilliant your idea is, no matter how innovative it is of no use if there is no market to it. So this is the first step, the starting point. Innovation doesn't start with a perfect idea, it begins with an actionable hunch. So this section helps you reframe your initial concept and define a problem that is truly worth solving. So start with an idea, start with a hunch, not an idea. What is a hunch? So basically a hunch is a flexible starting point. You might see like, okay, this might be a problem. Okay, this is a problem that I see. That's your hunch. And what is an idea? An idea is rigid and present. If you see an idea, if you just talk to it, if you have an idea and if you go towards it, you'll be romanticizing that idea. You'll try to make believe into the problems that are never even there. So don't start with an idea, start with a hunch. Okay, this might be something, this might be a problem, and then try to iterate on it. Be very flexible with it because starting points are always very delicate. I don't want you guys to fixate on your idea and just build something that is of no use to the market. So yeah, focus on something that others deem impossible and tangibility. An unimpressive real starting point you can act on. And focus without narrow thinking. Target real problems and not a predefined product. Don't go with an idea, okay, this is what I want to build. No, target problems and iterate on the solutions based on the feedback that you get. And how do you make your problems tangible? So before seeking a solution, a problem must be clearly defined. And test your problems against these 3 criteria that are given over here. First one, is it recognizable? If solved, if the problem that you're trying to solve is solved, what new thing could people do? Describe the after state of using your solution for that problem. And second thing, is it verifiable? Like, how do you know it works? What specific numbers could change for your customers? And the third one is, can you imagine multiple solutions? Brainstorm at least 3 different ways the problem could be solved. And if you fixate on an idea, you can never get these 3 solutions. So I want you guys to fix the problem first and then decide what are the 3 different kinds of solutions that I can build for this problem and if it is a real problem or not. And let's go to the second step. And the second step is who are you solving it for? So if you target everyone, you will connect with no one. The key here is to find a specific group of people who are desperate for your solution and focus all your energy on winning them first. Okay, so this is called as creating a beachhead market. So I don't want you to target a very broad market, just narrow your market down to as small as possible and then create something called as a beachhead market, which is very small segment of people that desperately need your solution, and win that market first and then you can go to the additional market segments. And how can you find this beachhead market? So there's the 3-step process that you can move from a broad idea to a focused target. I want you guys to be open-minded and brainstorm very widely. The first step is list down 10 to 12 potential customer segments without judgment. Okay, you have a broad hunch, you have a broad problem, right? decide who is this a problem for. 10 to 12 different customer segments. Just be as creative as possible. There is no limitations over here. This is the process that you've been doing with yourself and with your teammates. So be as creative as possible. And then narrow it down. Analyze your top segments. Who has the money, a compelling reason to buy your product right now, and are they accessible to you? And from there, from your top segments, pick one customer segment and go and win that segment. And then create your persona. That will also help you. After picking your customer segment, the beachhead market, create a customer persona. So it is a very detailed, semi-fictional profile of your ideal customer based on real research, not an average. Okay, so this builds in empathy and focus for your team to find out the right target of people. So I want you to focus on these points: demographics, who are they, and their story, and the motivations and fears. What drives them in their not only to purchase your product, but in their day-to-day lives. What are their motivations? What are they looking after? Like, what are they trying to win? What is their purpose in their life? And third one is watering holes. Where do they hang out? Where are they right now? For example, if you take teenagers, they're mostly on social media platforms. If you take young entrepreneurs or something like that, they are in the entrepreneurship areas in the city. If you're building something for the restaurants, that's your target place to find out. And third one is priorities. What's most important to them? Because you have to know what's important to them, because that's where you can target them. And the third one is defining value. What is your solution worth? So that is the most important. Like, avoid vague promises to win your customers. You must identify the most significant pain points and clearly articulate the concrete and measurable value that your solution brings to those customers and the pain points that you'll be solving. Okay, identify the customer pain points, and to know what is a good pain point is real, it is painful, and it is widely felt. It has to be real. Most people start an idea and they try to figure out what problem they're solving with their idea, and try to create this imaginary pain point that they think that people have, but in the end nobody has that pain point, and it's not really necessary. But we keep fixating on an idea, and I don't want you guys to do that. Okay, you're not just adding features. Okay, so the pain point should be tangible and physical. So skills deficit or security risk, it should be economic, high cost, low ROI, lost revenue or something. It could be emotional pain point like fear, stress, or frustration, or it could be something like logistical, like which has like complex process or inefficient delivery system and something like that. And after that, quantify your value proposition. Show the measurable differences as is state and a possible state with your solution. So whatever your impact that you're creating, it should be measurable. Like the difference should be visible. This was the previous state, and with this we're moving to this. This much increase it is showing. So yeah, that is a value proposition, and I want you guys to quantify it. No vague promises like we'll make it better for you guys. What do you mean by you make it better for us? How much better? 50% better, 60% better? I want you guys to quantify it and try to focus on the metrics that you can measure. Okay, so that you can quantify the impact that you're building. And the fourth one is the business model, the most important thing. How will you make money? Right? A great product isn't enough. You need sustainable business model to capture the portion of the value that you create. You're creating some value. You also need to capture some value out of it so that you can go on and keep building more, right? And this is governed by two critical metrics. So from all my lessons that I've been understanding, this is something that's important: the lifetime value of a customer and the customer cost of acquisition. And so basically, the lifetime value is like the average revenue that the customer brings times gross margin by the churn rate, and the customer sales cost of acquisition is sales and marketing costs that to acquire a customer by the new customer salary. So you would know how much you're spending for one person in your marketing. And there's something called as a golden rule. So the lifetime value versus the customer cost of acquisition. And a viable business requires a lifetime value of a customer to be 3 times the time cost of customer acquisition. So LTV should be 3 times the customer acquisition cost. So I've created a small visual over here that you can see. Let's say if your customer lifetime value is Okay, let's say it's 2000, somewhere around, yep, somewhere around $2,000, and you've calculated your customer acquisition cost as well, and you found out to be it is somewhere around $600. So you can see that your LTV value is more than thrice of the customer cost of acquisition, so you're in the green. Okay, it is a healthy business model that you're doing. Let's say your customer lifetime value is like very less. Let's say it's just 1168, but your customer cost of acquisition is $600. You might think that I'm just paying $600 and the customer is giving me $1,100, but it's not a sustainable business model in the longer run. So you got into the right. So always focus on making sure that the customer's lifetime value is 3 times the customer acquisition cost. So this is how you basically calculate. So I want you guys to focus on these metrics to calculate your customer's LTV value all the time, and also the customer cost of acquisition all the time. This is the 4th step, and then we go to the 5th step, proving it all. Right? You can't build in vacuum because you need customers that are real, right? So systematically, you have to de-risk your assumptions through customer feedback. Feedback is the most important thing. Whatever you're building at every stage, go talk to your customers, get feedback, and iterate on it. Okay? Do not fixate on a single idea. Keep iterating it. Okay? Try to find out what do the customers want. It's not what you want. Entrepreneurship is not building something that you want. It's building something about what your customers want, right? So keep your customers in mind, talk to them each and every step that you're building. Just ask them, would you buy this? What are the problems in this? So what can we make better so that you can iterate your product to find the product market fit later on. And yeah, so basically you have to build a product in the end that customers are actually willing to pay for. So how do you do it? Okay, so from journey from the sketch to product. So I want you guys to iterate through increasingly realistic version of your product. Gather feedback at every step to avoid building something that nobody wants. So let's say I have seen many people start with an idea and try to find out a problem, and for that idea, and they build it, they prototype it, they build an MVP version and they launch it in market, and just to find out that nobody wants their product. That is like a huge waste of resources and time, right? I don't want you guys to do that. So at each and every step, figure out if it's needed or not. Do not waste your resources and time. So, and start with a problem for that, not with an idea. So it's a simple thing. Like for example, let's say you have a nail, and you pick a hammer and you beat it to put that nail inside. But you're not doing it. You can change the hammer, but don't take a hammer and look for a nail. What should I do with that? Okay. So here the hammer is the solution and the nail is the problem. Figure out a nail and then decide which hammer you want to, and then beat it. That's it. So for that, build a high-level spec first, like a simple drawing or a brochure, and a low-fidelity mock-up, and a high-fidelity mock-up, and then the minimum viable business product. Not a minimum viable product, but also a minimum viable business product for which your customers are willing to pay for. So that is it. So the minimum viable business product. Here, many people focus on MVP, but the B is very critical over here. And it's the simplest thing that you can build that proves you have a business and not just a product. And it must meet 3 criteria. The customer gets value from it, the customer pays for it, and the customer provides feedback. Feedback is also very important, guys. Do not miss out on feedback. And finally, the 6th step, leading the way. So as a founder, your most important job is to build the culture and the team, right? Effective leadership starts with yourself and then creating an environment where great people can thrive. Startup is not just a one-person thing, it's a team effort. You can never build an empire alone. You need a right set of teammates that can do it with you, right? So this is what it is. We're building a high-performance team. So there's this small matrix that shows vampires, rock stars, zombies, and puppies. So yeah, this is like the performance versus culture fit matrix. And yeah, so let's say the vampires. The vampires are the most dangerous group. They hit their targets very well, but they're very toxic to your culture. They negatively impact on morale and outweighs individual performance. So that's a bad thing to have. They're highly perfect with their skills, but they're very low fit for your team. And then the zombies, so they neither perform nor fit the culture, so they just drain the energy from your team. And the puppies, so these are a great cultural fit, but they are underperforming. They have a potential, and your job is to train these people. So training employees is also a very key thing and part of building a business, right? So your job is to coach them, train them, and provide clear directions to grow them into rock stars. So rockstar, these are your ideal employees. They deliver great results and embody the company culture as well. Your job is to protect them, retain them, empower them, and keep them challenged and rewarded. So yeah, so that this is a performance versus cultural fit matrix that you can use to build your team. And lastly, the secret to leadership is you, right? Great leadership begins with self-leadership, adopting a growth mindset, which is non-negotiable for founders, navigating the adversity through of building a company. See, building a company is not easy, right? You get a lot of hurdles along the way. You might want to feel like giving up every single day. That happens because you hit a wall and you don't know where to go. But you should always adopt a growth mindset and see things like, okay, what is this trying to teach me? Where can I go? What am I learning from this? Make sure small wins matter every single day. But don't keep a fixed mindset, like believe that your talent is innate, or like you avoid challenges or blame others for your mistakes and something like that. So keep yourselves challenged all the way. Just remember that whatever you're not able to do right now, you can always learn and upskill yourself, and own your mistakes and learn from them. And that is what a growth mindset is. Like, skills can be built. You can embrace challenges and learn from the deficiencies. So this is the 6-step entrepreneurship playbook that I've built from all my lessons at MIT's program, all my lessons from the Suzuki Innovation Center's IIM program, and my personal journey of startups and learning from my mentors and everything. So I hope this is helpful for you guys, and this is like a very starting point of the playbook. This just gives a starting point for everybody to start somewhere. I'll keep iterating this based on my journey as well. And if you want to learn more from me, you can connect with me on LinkedIn for feedback, guidance, or anything. You can consult me. It's absolutely free. I would love to talk to you guys and learn from your experiences as well. So that's for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video, and yeah, I'll be sharing the link in the description for this playbook. Make sure to check it out and keep building. Have a great day.